Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome to episode 25 of Europa Universalis IV. That introduction always still gets me in a bit of a tongue twister because I worry so much about pronouncing Europa Universalis correctly that everything else just completely goes wrong. So we are in this war. I say it's a big war. I mean, really it should be a little war because it's just a war with Brittany, really, which we've got 100% siege on. The problem that we have is the war is with Austria as well, because they were Brittany's ally, so that's a little bit of a pain. What I'm going to try and do now, I have managed to break Austria's army a few times. Let's just group that together, detach a siege. I have managed to break Austria's army a few times. The problem that I have at the moment is that, well, Austria are actually out of manpower, and they're using quite a few mercenaries. 24th of August, you're going to get out there. We're going to get there on the 20th. We will get a river crossing, but we still should win the fight. We do have our leader here. Although saying that, that fight could go either way at the moment, but it would be nice if we could actually sort of take this army down a peg or two. Unfortunately, the AI is just getting some rather good rolls here at the moment. And I'm getting a bit of a penalty because my army is very, very heavy on cavalry at the moment. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that we are going to win that. We are below our force limit, so what I'm going to do is over here, where it's relatively safe, I'm going to go and produce some infantry. Because it's always infantry that you tend to lose in the fights. Especially when you start consolidating regiments, because it's always the infantry regiments that get consolidated. We are losing money, and we don't have an awful lot of manpower, so we do have to be careful. There's no point me sitting here in Metz. I could go and chase, but I'd sooner just sit in here and make sure that we're protected if Austria try to send an army to deal with us there. Like I said, they do have some units around, but they've only got very few. Castile, would you at any point be willing to get involved in this war, or have you got your own stuff going on that you can't be bothered to deal with? Did I just tell a unit to move? I hope I didn't. No, you stay there. Right, Castile. Castile, Castile, Castile. What have you? You're in two different wars at the moment, so there's no way that you'd be willing to come and help. Well, you might do, actually. No, you wouldn't. Mainly because you feel threatened towards us. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's go and have a quick look at things like war exhaustion. What we should do as well, and I've completely forgotten to do this, which is really, really stupid of me, and I really, really should have done. We'll reduce our war exhaustion. Actually, we're going to reduce it twice. We could boost our stability. I think we will do. That will help us with our money issues a little bit. We could go ahead, potentially, and can we raise war taxes? Is it worth raising war taxes? 50 military power to raise war taxes for 2 years? I think we will. Just because we are starting to lose a little bit of money and it's getting a little bit scary there. We'll take a while to siege some of these places out. Now, it would be nice if we could take things like Luxembourg and Artois and stuff like that, but I'd be happy if we can just take Brittany. Like I said in the previous video, I don't want to end up getting too much aggressive expansion too soon, because all that's going to happen with that is we'll end up with a massive coalition against us. And if I just take little nibbles, then, wow, Great Britain has formed already. I've just noticed the Union flag there on that ship. So, okay. So that's the thing. Yeah, if I keep taking little bites out of Europe, then we may not end up with a massive coalition. And that'll make it easier to take things from Austria in the future. Now, this will be a good opportunity to take something from Austria, because at this moment in time, Austria don't actually... can't call the HRE in because this is a defensive fight, and they're an ally. We haven't attacked Austria directly, so that helps things out a little bit. I can see these units moving here. Those guys are heading into Rethel. Got to be careful. I mean, I would like to sort of dive on them, but yeah, it looks like they're coming over here. Actually, it looks like they are heading into Artois. So what I'm going to do is take all of this infantry. Now, we haven't got a leader in there, so we do have to be careful, but if I put enough units in, it might make them reconsider their position on attacking. No, they are actually attacking. We are going to try and reinforce. What I really want to avoid doing right now, though, is actually breaking the siege on Luxembourg, and I know that the moment I start trying to move any of these units over, then they will come in and attack Luxembourg. So I don't have a huge number of forces in Luxembourg to defend here, although if we can go and get involved in that, that could potentially be great. So let's go ahead and take... right, group together, detach a siege. If we try and go in here, I've got to be careful because I need to watch where these other guys are going, because they could... Yeah, the moment I start to leave Luxembourg, they start to double back because they want to attack Luxembourg. So we are going to end up losing quite a few units over here, which is a real shame. But at the end of the day, as long as I can siege out Luxembourg, then we've got a province siege, and that's fine. They are trying to siege out a few provinces down here. They're standing around in the mountains, so they're not doing themselves an awful lot of good. There's no way I can get to that fight quickly enough to reinforce, so I'm not even going to try and bother at this point. I'll just let them sit there and do whatever they want to do. They may give chase. They may also come over here and try and de-siege Brittany. So it may be worth thinking about it and thinking, well, can we just peace out with Brittany and what would we get from them? How long has the war been going on? 1529. So does it actually have a date in 1529 when it started? No. Because in 1533, that would technically... Well, that would only be 4 years, wouldn't it? So it wouldn't be a great help either way. So yeah, we do have quite small force limit at the moment because we've had to consolidate an awful lot. So they could come over here, which could be problematic. If we could just win the siege on Luxembourg, though. It's just taking so long for it to happen. Units all arriving together. Now then, before I do anything else, what's the chances of the next tick? 14% chance. It isn't very high. They are trying to sort of blanket sieges a little there. We're actually moving very far away. We'll go down there and group back up, and then we'll sort of come back. We'll allow these... Oh, there we go. Luxembourg has fallen. So what I can do now is actually use this unit. Again, I appreciate that it is a really derpy composition, but... If we can go ahead and just run into a few of these smaller stacks, maybe we can take them out before the larger stacks get in, although they are reinforcing, which is problematic. That might have been the mistake that I shouldn't have made. Let's try and get some people moved back up here. Now, we'll have a look and see how this battle is going to go before I consider whether or not I'm going to try and sue for peace before the battle ends. We do have the river crossing. We do have the terrain penalty. We still have much higher base morale, though. We still have the same tactics and the same discipline. They do have bigger numbers. They do have some units that they can reinforce with there. They are getting better rolls, because that's generally the way it always goes. Now, we've got a much better roll there. Fortunately, didn't. Alright, they've got a massive roll, so I think I'm going to lose that fight. In fact, I'm fairly confident I'm going to lose that fight. So, before we go ahead and lose that fight, could we peace out and what could we take? Brittany does have low war exhaustion. So, if we were to go... Oh, we don't have any diplomats to send, that's fine. Let us bring back you. Then we could actually potentially peace out. Should have done that before now. We're probably going to lose this fight before the diplomat comes back. And... No, we haven't. So let's go back to Brittany. 52%. What would you be willing to give us? Full annexation requires 68% war score. They wouldn't be willing to take it because... Oh, 68% overextension. Need at least one more positive than negative. Current peace offer. Demands exceed war score. Length of war minus 28. So we couldn't take it from them. What we could do, however, is we could take Anjou and Maine, which we do have cores on. Which means they wouldn't cost us any Diplo power to take those. We could potentially also take Luxembourg as well. Which could be quite nice. Could we take anything else from Brittany? No. But that would make them small enough to... Diplo vassalize. It would give us 16.3 aggressive expansion, which... is not massive. There will be 25 with Austria, which is a bit of a pain, but it is manageable. 24% overextension. I am going to send those demands. And we'll unpause. So that should end the war. Okay, so war's over. So first thing we're going to do here is group these guys up. We are going to consolidate our regiments. We're going to split off our mercenaries. Now, I appreciate we're going to end up with a very, very small army here. We are going to... Well, actually, we're not going to disband the mercenaries. We're going to keep the mercenaries around. What have we got here? An alliance offer from Hynett. Now, I think we had an alliance with them before. But you're quite small, and I don't think you're all that much use to me, so I'm not going to bother. Provence, are you still in a war? Yes, several. So there's not a lot of point me trying to do anything with Provence. Military access from Savoy, yeah, I don't mind accepting that. So, we need to rebuild our army. Which ones are our mercenaries? You're our mercenaries. You can actually move over to Ile-de-France. Just until we've actually managed to build up our fleet. What are you doing? Are you actually protecting the trade node? Yeah, you just don't really seem to be doing an awful lot quickly. So we've gained a little bit of land there, so that's not too bad. Austria really aren't going to like us. Most probably going to end up being a coalition against us. I'd be very, very surprised at this point if there wasn't. So what have we got here? Very, very broken army. And, yeah, I was going to say, at least one of these guys is a proper army. Let's move you all into Champagne. So we got Luxembourg, which is nice. Now, we shouldn't need to... We might need to do a couple of cores, actually. We don't have a core here on Luxembourg, so we're going to go ahead and make that a core. And in fact, we're actually going to go and stand our units in Luxembourg because that will help with the rebellion. We already have cores on both of these provinces. Now, if we actually went to Brittany now, of course they absolutely hate us, which is understandable, but they would accept vassalization at this point because they are now small enough to be vassalized. So what I am going to do is I am going to go and try and improve relations with them, and it is quite possible that we might be able to do that. Unlawful territory demand from Austria. You can go and do fun and exciting things to yourself. So we can have 18 noble regiments in Ile-de-France. We can lose 25 local autonomy in Picardy, or we can lose 33 Diplo power. Let's just lose the 33 Diplo power, because to be quite honest, we've got absolutely plenty of it. Let's move you guys there. As far as the... Is it worth getting rid of these mercs? I'm going to say... No. They are costing us quite a bit of money, but at the moment I'm nowhere near my actual force limit. We do have some quite small numbers here. So what I'm going to do is... That's my 10... Now, my current 10-stat template doesn't actually have any artillery in it at all, and we can build artillery now. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this template, and we'll make a new template. And let's get out of there actually and just pause the game while I do this. So let's go and create a new template, and I think we won't give it a name yet, but what we want to have is something like 10 infantry, and we'll have 3 cavalry and maybe 5 cannons. So what does that give us a total of there? Let's just go up to the full 17. So a 17 stack. 17 stack is usable. Obviously, you don't want to have too much cavalry because it's your infantry that gets wiped out. Having a lot of cannons, a lot of artillery is very good. Let's go down to 16, make it a round number. That's not 16, is it? Let's do it that way. Is 2 cavalry going to be enough? I think that's probably going to be enough. So we'll call that the standard 16. Now, artillery is very good for sieging, but you also having artillery means that you can do massive damage during combat as well. But you don't want to have so much artillery that your front line can't cover it. So we'll do that, and then we'll select this template and click here, and then we should end up. That's basically cost us all of our money, but we are making money, and that should help things out nicely. So we'll go up to speed 3 at this point because I think I don't think we're going to have too much trouble. Current missions, do we have what? Oh yeah, it was improve the relationship with Lorraine, which we are doing. What do we need to get it up to though? Objectives. We might actually be able to do that because I'm guessing that they're probably at this point going to have a lot of aggressive expansion against me. Yeah, they're outraged, mainly because of the aggressive expansion, unlawful territory. It will go away, so it's quite possible that we can deal with that. I'm not worried about that too much. Would be nice to get another diplomatic advisor. 10% trade efficiency. Let's go ahead and get that. Now, we don't have the colonial range guy anymore now. It was the colonial range guy that we had before. But that doesn't really matter because the advantage that we've got now is that we can colonize from anywhere where we have a core. So as we actually have cores over here, we can colonize these provinces. So before I do anything, do I want to try and colonize another one of these provinces here? And indeed, can I? So our colonial range is 487. And this is 354 distance away from our closest unblockaded core province, which is Plesanita, which is going to be one of the ones up here. Yeah, there. So my colonial range down here is actually measured from there now. So I could go ahead and what's the aggressiveness down in these places? There's a few. There's a few people around. We might need to go and try and get another unit or two. So I think what we'll do is we'll move around into the Terra Incognita here just to uncover it. We will move up into one of our core provinces up here, and we'll produce another infantryman just so that we can send him down. So let's just go in and just a single infantryman. We can send him down and start colonizing down there. Of course, I could start. Well, I don't need to do that. I can use this guy, can't I? I think. Yeah. We could colonise up here some more, and I probably will. Would be nice if we had an additional colonist, but at the moment we don't. We can cancel the production of a unit there because we don't need it. Brittany hates us. It's hardly surprising. Our army is starting to reform. That is very, very nice. We can build some buildings. Probably time to get rid of the mercenaries. No, we still don't have a lot of manpower, which is my main concern. Even though the mercenaries do cost us quite a bit of money, don't really have the manpower, and at the moment we only have sort of 30k troops, so we've got to be careful. We may end up going for quality or quantity ideas as well, just in the hope that we can grab ourselves. I should have actually asked these guys to drop their ties with Austria. It would have been a much better idea. I'm going to do my best to try and suck up to them in the hope that we can get them on board as a vassal. We still have royal ties with them, oddly enough. They wouldn't accept an alliance, mainly because they really hate me. But we'll keep trying to build up reputation where we can. Keep trying to build up relations. Keep hearing that new noise. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it might just be a new sound effect for the discoveries of certain lands. It may well have been added in El Dorado. You have arrived where you needed to be. You can get on board the ship, and the ship can work its way down to the Caribbean. And actually looks like well, let's move you down here for a start. But it does actually look like we've got a few. That's a yellow border. I can't see what it is. It may well be Castile. Looks like there's a few yellow borders down here. We'll try and get as much of the Caribbean as we can, but we would like to colonize as much of the east coast of the Americas as we can. And getting the coastal provinces is very important for us, so we'll definitely be trying to do that where we can. So how are we doing with these armies over here? You guys are all mine. You guys are all mine as well, although you're mainly cannons and artillery, so you can move in. We can't get any more positive relations with Lorraine at this point. I'm going to recall the diplomat. Do I want to try and do anything else to get any positive relations with them? Do I want to try and give them any money? What am I like on my diplomatic relations? 4 of 5. So I could possibly try and make friends with Lorraine. How are things with you, Lorraine? You are allied with a hell of a lot of people, but not Austria. You're in a royal marriage. Okay, let's offer them an alliance. And that's the mission accepted anyway. We could actually offer them vassalization. If we could get enough happiness with them. Do we have a royal marriage with you? No, we don't, but we can go... Oh, you're offering me one. That's fine. That's 144. So, yeah, there's every possibility that we could get them through a diplomatic vassalization. Turn Havana into a city. Well, we are definitely going to be working on that. In fact, it's more than halfway there already. You guys can group up. What are we like on our military number? We're still a little bit behind. We've still got no manpower in the tank, which is a little bit of a pain. Let's go once again for the... oh, I don't have the money to build the units either, so we'll wait until we've got our money back. I think at this point, because most of the people who are mad with us, which is basically Austria, because we're going to have a look at the coalition map mode, as soon as I can find the icon. So actually, we don't have all that much aggressive expansion. We might be okay. Let's recall our diplomat from Provence. Provence, are you still at war with the entire world? Pretty much. So there's no point me trying to offer you vassalization at this point. Oh, they're not even my vassal. I thought that they were my vassal and I was just waiting to annex them. They're not even my vassal. So Provence may actually get taken, but I think they will be okay. We'll see what happens. Either way, we've got another advisor that's died, which is our admin advisor. Yearly inflation reduction, we can't really afford to go for the national tax modifier guy, so let's go for this one. And we are over the 20-minute mark, so that is a great place to end the video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying EU4 as France, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, goodbye for now.